Have you heard about semaglutide injections, but you're not really sure what they are? Or have you been thinking about getting them but want more information first? You've come to the right place. In this episode, I'm diving into what these injections are, what they're not, and what they're doing inside your body. Welcome to part 2 of my special GLP-1 series. My name is Crystal Sale. I am a chiropractor and I love to geek out on all things holistic health and anti-aging. So if you are new here, get subscribed so you stay in the know on all my new episodes. And now let's dive in. So in the last episode, we talked about how the primary role of GLP-1 is to increase insulin secretion and lower your blood glucose. It also reduces food cravings and helps you feel full longer. These are some of the reasons why boosting your GLP-1 production is an incredible way to help with weight loss. However, there are a host of other really amazing benefits, especially if you don't currently have any weight loss goals. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, make sure you do that next. So, we know GLP-1 is a natural hormone that has excellent benefits in weight management. But what about these super popular GLP-1 agonist injections? And what is a semaglutide? Well, you've heard of them. It's probably why you're here. There are a ton of these injections out now, like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Saxenda, Trulicity. These drugs are getting fast praise, but are they everything they're cracked up to be? Let's take a closer look. So there's a protein, dipeptidyl peptidase 4, or DPP4, that is found on the cell surface that breaks down GLP-1. This is a normal process of checks and balances in the body. Unfortunately, the expression of DPP4 is correlated with inflammation and increased amounts of both fat and visceral fat. So in other words, as you gain weight, DPP4 activity increases. This increased activity causes rapid inactivation of GLP-1, typically within 1 to 3 minutes. This in turn causes an insufficient release of insulin, diminished glycemic control, and eventually to type 2 diabetes. So not only does your natural GLP-1 diminish because of weight gain, but it also happens with aging because, of course, we have increasing oxidative stress and inflammation as we age. All of that weight gain and inability to lose weight, no matter what you do, is starting to make sense. So you're doomed, right? Well, the pharmaceutical world's response to this natural process was 2 things. First, they created an oral medication called a DPP4 inhibitor. It does exactly what you think. It stops DPP4 from working so it won't break down GLP-1. This medication supposedly does well to improve glycemic control, but it's been shown to have no effect on gastric emptying or weight loss. And if you can't physically see the results, does it even really count? So they found GLP-1 receptor agonists. Different companies have slightly different versions, and so these are what we call semaglutide, liraglutide, lixisenatide, dulaglutide. Some are daily injections, and some are weekly, but they are all synthetic forms of a protein that mimic natural GLP-1, but cannot be degraded by DPP4. And people are seeing results from being on this drug, hence its massive popularity. But before you go running off to your nearest clinic, let's dig into some of the realities of these injections. First, I want to be very clear. GLP-1 and GLP-1 agonists are not the same thing. GLP-1 agonists were first formulated to treat diabetes, and they found incidentally that it had a weight loss component to it. So now they are marketing them for weight loss. These agonists have a significantly higher dose when used for weight loss than when used for treating diabetes. So, for example, semaglutide is the most common agonist, and it's labeled Wegovy for weight loss, which is a higher dosage than Ozempic, which is used for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. GLP-1 agonists are essentially synthetic hyperactivation of GLP-1. Most also primarily work by inhibiting glucagon, thereby lowering insulin and blood sugar levels. It also delays gastric emptying, making you feel full. So here's the deal. Increasing your GLP-1 is a big deal. It has such massive benefits on the body. It appears that everyone can improve their function with this natural hormone. But natural GLP-1 and synthetic agonists are not the same thing. Synthetic drugs force the body to take an action without any kinds of checks or balances. The body naturally ramps up activity like a dimmer switch and then dials it back down. Drugs turn it on like a light switch, full power, maximum effort. The off switch only happens when the drug depletes from your system. The body wasn't meant to function that way. And so there are massive side effects when its natural pathways are forced into operation. So if you could activate your GLP-1 naturally with a dietary supplement, no shots or prescriptions required, would you try it or would you still want those injections? If you want some help with your weight loss goals, or you want all of those amazing GLP-1 benefits, but you want to do it naturally, then you need to jump on my wait list for the only dietary supplement proven to activate it at the molecular level. This brand new weight loss system is launching in October. It was developed by a company with a 20-year proven track record in cellular activation. They've been biohacking the body long before the term was even coined, and they were featured in Newsweek as one of the top innovators in the life sciences. So, if you want to be the first to know when this incredible GLP-1 activator is released, jump on my waitlist at crystalasale.com/slim. or click the link in the show notes below. When you get on my waitlist, I also keep you updated on all the new details as they leak, including all the befores and afters. Plus, I will let you know how to get your hands on some pretty cool bonuses from me. So, there's no obligation to purchase. Just get on the list. Get informed of your choices, okay? So, now if you're still on the fence about these injections, then listen up. This section is for you. Pretty much all of these drugs are labeled for lifetime use. Once you get on these injections, they do not recommend that you get off of them. For one thing, you'll definitely gain the weight back, but also directly on the box, they state that you may have unknown metabolic problems if you ever go off these drugs. Those Wegovy dance parties aren't all sunshine and butterflies after all. So anytime you force the body to perform a function that it wouldn't normally do, you are going to have a whole host of side effects. So let's take a look at a few. The number one fire alarm blasting side effect is an increased risk in thyroid cancer. Gastroparesis or stomach paralysis is another big concern, and in some cases, normal contraction of the intestine was also inhibited, which at a minimum causes constipation, but at worst can be life-threatening. And that full feeling that you get from delayed emptying of the stomach, it's actually nausea. Your food sits in the stomach for such long periods of time that it makes you feel sick and not want to eat. Liraglutide has been shown to cause the synthesis of new fat cells. So while you are losing fat mass and size, the number of fat cells is actually increasing. Muscle wasting is another common issue, especially with semaglutides. And in fact, it was found that 40% of the weight that you lose taking these injections is loss of lean muscle mass. This is incredibly concerning because if you ever decide to come off of these drugs, the fat will come back pretty quickly, but that lean muscle mass, it will not. You are also going to be looking at an increase in appearance of aging and sagging skin due to that muscle wasting. Another thing, the European Union is actually looking into suicidal ideation caused by Ozempic. In other words, there is an increase in suicidal thoughts for those on these injections. Why? Well, 95% of the body's serotonin is a key mood regulator. It's produced in the gut. And we already know that gut issues like leaky gut syndrome are associated with mood disorders like depression. So when you are forcing an action on the body, you are not just affecting one thing. The entire body is a whole ecosystem, and it works together. So it's why the body is able to heal itself and function so well when we give it the proper nutrients. But when you force open a channel with no checks and balances, you are throwing that entire ecosystem into haywire. This is why approximately 30% of patients are coming off these drugs after just 3 months. The side effects are so severe and sometimes lasting long after they've stopped their dosages. So what's the deal? They did testing, right? Well, this is the kicker for me. The American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending these injections as a first line of defense for teens based on a 68-week study. For a growing and changing hormonal teen, that's less than a year and a half. The longest study I found in my basic research was a 72-week study, but one study that showed beneficial effects was only 6 weeks long. We have no real idea what the long-term ramifications of being on these drugs are. These injections have definitely shown benefits in the short term, but are you ready to take massive risks with your health and your life for a long-term drug that we don't have a full picture of yet? That is the question you will need to answer for yourself. Do your research and know what you're getting into before jumping all in. So now you know the difference between the natural GLP-1 hormone and the synthetic GLP-1 agonists. You know how they work within your body, as well as the host of side effects associated with these popular weight loss injections. Are the potential risks of these injections worth it to you? Or are you interested in trying a natural activation of your GLP-1 with a dietary supplement first? This all-natural dietary supplement contains the right ingredients in the right amounts to let your body function at its optimal level. Your body is in control, not what you're injecting into it. So if you want to know when this incredible product is available and get in on some special bonuses from me, then get on my waitlist by going to crystalasale.com/slim or click the link in the show notes below. All right, my friend, if you found value, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you loved most. Give it a thumbs up. And if you know anyone that would find value in this episode, share this with them and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.